Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the H-Train Show, where our only mission is so programs out there beyond the VA.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
We begin on the tracks, rails stretching beyond the horizon. Each tie a memory, each rail a promise of where we might go. In the early years, our first logo appeared, a pioneer stepping onto the platform of possibility. Through seasons of growth, change, and challenge, we moved forward. The whistle of opportunity sounded, and we boarded the train of time. The view changed with every mile, some stations brief, others lasting. Our logos changed too, not just emblems, but mile markers of evolution. Along the way, seats filled with teammates, mentors, veterans, and friends. Some stayed for the ride, others stepped off, leaving their legacy on the rails behind us. And still, the journey continues. The tracks ahead stretch into the unknown, familiar yet full of new promise. What matters most is how we travel, with purpose, with grit, with heart. Because the journey matters, the movement matters, and the legacy of those logos, every year, every show, lives on in the rhythm of these rails. So here we are once again, all aboard. The whistle blows, the tracks call. Together we ride. We are the H-Train Show, showing veterans programs beyond the VA since 2015. H is in the building now.
Let's go! Strap in, this one's for the fighter. I took the oath. 20 years I gave my soul. Sandstorms, fire, a roadside blast. Everything I knew shattered fast.
You haven't seen nothing yet! Woo!
Drowning in turmoil, 15 meds, mine in a haze. Living felt like a permanent dead. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. Voice of the broken, thunder in my chest with a freedom fighters rising from the wreck. Parents pulled me from the edge of night, pushed me forward back into the light. Ski boots on, carving through pain. Found my fire on that frozen terrain. Said I was too old to beat the race, so I trained like hell, put them in their place. From slurred words to a podium stand, yeah, I'm racing with lightning in my hands. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. From Kokomo to Olympic slope, we're the freedom fighters born to cope. Now I take the mic, not a rifle. Broadcast truth, yeah, that's survival. Paralyzed, but still I lead. With every word we plant a seed. Still standing, warriors loud. Can't break us, we screaming proud. Not wounded, we're on the attack. Freedom fighters, and we're taking it back. Freedom fighters, yeah, yeah. Keep rising.
You're stronger than you know, and braver than you feel. One waddle at a time.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Freedom Fighters! It is May 1st, 2026 on this
wonderful Friday, and we're over here getting spoiled. We got lights ahead. We got lights over us. I feel like I'm in the ESPN studio. HG. This might be the closest we get to altitude, man.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be there right now.
Oh, come on. You know you do. You know you do. You know you want to. But I tell you what, before we get started, I gotta tell you, I don't even watch basketball. And I found out that we shit the bed yesterday. The Denver Nuggets. Congratulations, guys. You guys shit the bed.
Yep.
You really did.
That was a really bad. That was a terrible series.
It was. It was cute. I mean, and the thing is like, this is the one thing I'm disappointed in. Everybody makes mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's gonna goof up. But when you goof up or you make mistakes, it's how you clarify afterwards. It's your character that defines. I learned a lot about Joker this season. Like, I really did. When he first came, he was very down to earth. Like, he inspired me. Like, he was always going and shaking people's hands and stuff. This series, he's like fighting with people. And I'm like, come on, man, and like now, he when we first won the championship, the Nuggets, everybody was laughing about it and saying, oh, well, he's worried about getting back to his race horses, and like we supported it because, Denver was getting something out of it, he was getting like a championship, now that we're not getting a championship, and it goes back to what Manning said a long time ago. He said it in the locker room with me and Stokely, and I learned that real quick. He said, I know how this game works. Everybody loves you when you win.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hates you when you lose.
That's very true.
When he said that, and there's a lot of things that he's said, like inside quotes and stuff that I chewed on. Like his quote to me when we went to Dove Valley for the veterans to meet him and all the other Broncos, one thing that Manning had said to me is, it doesn't matter if it's skiing, doesn't matter if it's golf, doesn't matter if it's football, doesn't matter if it's basketball, just life in general. Worry about playing well.
Mm-hmm.
The scoreboard will talk for itself. You don't need to talk. You don't need to force shit. Just do your thing. What's up, Maverick? What's up, Joy? What's up, Joy? Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, we that's the latest on the Denver Nuggets. And I made a post, and I think I talked about it last week. But just remember, especially going into this weekend, people don't care how much money you have. People don't care what you can do for them. What they care about is how you treat them.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to go back to the golden rule: treat others like you want to be treated. And the other quote, hey, if you can't find a friend, be that friend.
Yeah.
So it's all about character. And I think the world would be a lot better place if we just kind of worked on ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
kind of worked on our character, and just remember that when you're talking to somebody anytime, automatically assume they're on 80% defense mode. Okay. So whenever you talk to somebody, nobody's going to just lay down. Okay. That's not who we are. That's not who we are as humans. If somebody comes up and says, hey, you did this wrong, they're going to poke back. So if you know they're going to poke back, then initiate the question or initiate the statement different so that it doesn't affect, your friendship or the way they look at your character. Character is a very important thing to me.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, the character is the only thing that I got going for me, to be honest with. But before we go on break, today is Caveman's last day. You know,
R.I.P.
I'm you know what, we're gonna do mail call because I'm already, yes, yeah, you can tell. We're gonna do mail call, and today, you know, we have planned on putting their show as a rerun. I talked to her co-host yesterday. I talked to Daryl yesterday. We had a very lengthy conversation, and I was explaining to him the story about the MBR, and I was explaining to him where my idea where the mission came from. And when I told him about the emblem, he's like, "Have you ever did like a segment or tell anybody about that?" And I'm like, "No, not really." So I'm just gonna reiterate real quick so that everybody knows. Whenever you look at the MBR emblem, those three silhouettes, the reason why there's three is because you have two people talking, the talent, and then you have one person and the sound. Okay. Sometimes a battle buddy needs a break. And that's the reason why you have three. There's a reason why we have it set up to where we have a sound guy and you have two people speaking. And you can always rotate me, Caveman and HG. We've rotated and stuff. But sometimes when you have that veteran over your shoulder, sometimes that veteran needs a break. If you've ever been in battle, if you've ever been overseas and you're sitting there and you're holding your friend and you're sitting there trying to tell him everything's going to be okay, you need that third person to go get some help and then give you a rest so that you can go over to the right or over to the left, lean down, act like you're trying to gain your air and just cry a little, just let it out a little,
Yeah.
It's okay for that. But that's the emblem. That's the reason why we have three silhouettes. And I think it's important for everybody to know that sometimes you just need a break. So without further ado, today's mail call, because she's got books coming out, she's got speaking engagements coming out. She's doing a fitness thing here pretty soon, and her and Jose from Motivational Mindset, they're getting ready to teach a class. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our soldier spotlight of the week.
Attention, mail call.
Oh my God!
You've got mail.
Hey, listen up! I don't.
All right. So with that being said, this is Eva. Eva came to us last year. She's been with us now for almost a year. Not only does she do the, paint the purpose. Not only does she do that faith-based show, but she also does a faith-based show with Chaplain Daryl, and I'm sure I'm probably pronouncing his first name wrong. But she does that, and we're rerunning the faith-based show on Sundays. We're trying to keep it, faith-based. Other than Turnberg and Stogies, we're trying to keep it faith-based. But I just want to reiterate, she does a lot for veterans. She does a lot of speaking, and she has a resume bigger than my credit report. Okay, she really does. And I don't give her enough recognition. And I wanted to give her some recognition today because she's doing amazing things. And if you haven't, check out her show. It's every Saturday, as you can see, the time right there. Check out her show, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Ava, thank you for everything that you do here at MBR. We might not say much, but trust me, it does not go unnoticed.
It does not.
In fact, I mean, that's for everybody, Tracer, Amber, Farron. I mean, we have so many amazing shows here at MBR, and we try to spotlight them as much as we can. And, the nice thing about MBR, it's kind of like relaxing. Like, if you don't feel like doing a show, we're not going to make you, post a rerun or anything like that. You have the time slot. If you don't utilize the time slot, like 24-hour fitness, you don't utilize it. We'll try it next week.
Yep.
Because it's not about the show here. It's about the veteran. It's about you serving your purpose, and it's about you getting that information out. This week we found out, and I've told you, Amber, we've reached 2.5 million people this month.
Awesome.
This station has. And how we got those numbers is the IMDb. And so it's good stuff. I will say that we're working on a wrestling show. Me and Maverick, we are working on a wrestling show that we're going to probably try. We're going to see about doing it like Saturday or so. I don't know. I got to figure out, but
this is different from the other one, correct?
Yes, this is yeah. We're kind of taking because of like they have a new venue, so they kind of have to figure out the technical issues that they're withstanding. Once they do that, then we'll jump back into it. But we're taking a little bit of a break with Battleground, and either Saturday or Sunday, we're going to be starting a new show, me and Maverick, and it's not going to be about stogies. It's just going to be about wrestling. It's going to be about conspiracy theories when it comes to wrestling. Well, hey, and it's a true conspiracy theory, because the stuff's scripted. So we're gonna be talking about that. And we have a phone call coming in.
Okay.
I don't know. Do you have the phone lines open? Yeah, there we go.
Open, yep. All right, let's see.
Hey, you're listening to Military Broadcast Radio, and you are live on the H Train Show. Who do we have the pleasure to speak with this morning?
First time caller, long time no listener.
Oh, shit. It's Edge. Edge, how are you?
It is not Edge, but you're on the edge of you're on the cusp of the edge. I'm trying to figure out who it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Congratulations on your 2.5 million viewers that you've reached so far. That's an amazing number for the work that you guys have been doing. So congratulations to your station, to you, and to the rest of your team.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. All right, so caller, you got to identify yourself, or are you going to be? Are we going to call you Ghost?
No, well, you can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Oh, I know who this is. Everybody knows who this is. This is long-time listener, long-time host, Caesar.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure.
Friend. The Battle Rhythm podcast has been on hiatus for the last year plus. So yeah, it's crazy. One of those things that life kind of got in the way, and so been here, there, and of some personal stuff. So
okay,
it's good to hear from you, though.
Yeah, it is good.
Well, I appreciate that. I heard I was just kind of browsing. I was like, wow, 2.5 million. That's an amazing number.
Right.
You can't make up those numbers, and the impact that the station has for everybody is it can't go unnoticed, like you said. So that's great.
Yeah, and when you come to Colorado, you can visit the new studio.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a new studio, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
It's awesome.
We are powered by.
It's nice in here, man.
Way nicer.
Hey, I didn't know that your basement was going to turn into a studio.
We might have 2 studios here soon.
That's awesome. That's great, man. I'm excited for you. That's such great news.
Yeah, they've got a whole building with an elevator and everything.
And the elevator has TV in it.
Right? It scrolls through the news for you.
Hey, I would be way more impressed if the bathroom had TVs in it.
Hey, give it time, man.
Yeah.
Give it time.
We filed a motion. We're working on it.
Oh, they're already.
Isn't that an act of Congress, man?
They're already getting ready to put Green Bean, I guess, a company or whatever. They're getting ready to put a
like a coffee chain in the
coffee
building.
chain in the building.
Yeah.
Did you just say the green bean, like the one that's when you're deployed?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I haven't heard that name in a long time. I felt like Obi-Wan Kenobi yesterday when she told me that. I haven't heard that name in a long time. But man, you know what? I'm super glad that you called, man. It's been a while, and you know, we'll definitely have to talk. We'll definitely have to get you back on the air, man.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I'm honored that you actually are thinking that, because I have missed MBR quite a lot, and I miss talking so much trash to you on and off the air, and you've been so graceful about it that I feel so bad that a lot of times I made you cry, which is not cool. But yeah, I definitely, that would be a very, very good conversation to have, and I'm definitely I would like to yes, I would like to definitely have that conversation.
All right, yeah, we'll definitely do that. Well, hey, man, we still have to present Caveman his award before we go on break, but it was wonderful for you to call in and continue to listen in and have some fun, and I'll call you a little bit later behind the scenes, brother.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'll be open all day, so make sure you call me between the hours of now.
All right, you have a good one, Cedar. Thanks for calling.
Good to hear from
Take
you.
care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Well, without further ado, hold on.
Well,
Take over for me. We're gonna.
all right, he's off grabbing the award.
Yes. All right. So
I am not the guy from Police Academy. I don't know why
man,
I'm trying the next sound effect.
I'm just trying not to fucking cry. Okay, so check this out. Caveman came to us June, I believe it was June. No,
Like October.
October of 2023. And Caveman came here, and I didn't think he was going to last long because he looked at me like I was weird, you know. We had a
Still does.
yeah, we had a plastic table with a wood like desk thing screwed onto it, you know. And I was bringing in donuts. This was before we got sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. I was bringing in donuts, and Caveman came in and looked at me and was like, "What the hell did I get into?" But I told him, "Hey, look, this is how we do it. You work my shift, I work your shift, and we've been doing that now for 3 years." Caveman doesn't get paid for this. HG doesn't get paid for this. Amber doesn't get paid for it. Nobody gets paid for this.
We get paid with laughs and happy memories.
Food.
Yep.
And thanks to Dunkin' Donuts, not only did they provide coffee today, but they also provided the donuts as well. And we have sandwiches. So make sure you get a sandwich, HG. And Dunkin' Donuts told me, Caveman, they really appreciate your service to our veterans for the last 3 years. And I've created the nameplate, but it's not going to get here for like 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm like, well, I guess I will wait to get Caveman's new address in Louisiana, and then I'll send it to him. But Caveman's going to be getting this little trophy. And, I was going to give him my award that I got from Colorado Media School a long time ago, the most intern hours. And I was going to give it to him and just put like a label in front. And, Cass came up to me and she's like, he deserves to get something like on his own, something that's a little bit bigger than that, And, Caveman, there's not a lot of people that have done what you've done. You have came in here at 5 a.m. every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for the last 3 years. Didn't ask for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Never demanded anything. That's not normal.
No.
And we love you for that.
Yes, we do.
And this week I've had a hard time, tearing up because, my right side person is Tracer in Texas. But like my total wingman has been you, Caveman, because not only have we did events together, but I kind of reckon I had to wait for the tow truck. You was there for an hour waiting with me. You've been there. You have been my battle buddy, and the difference between a battle buddy and a friend. And I posted this yesterday. A friend's there to check in on you and say hi and do stuff with you and motivate you throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
But a battle buddy is somebody that is there that can watch you as you cry. They're there. They don't make it awkward. They're there to lean on. And Caveman, I'm never going to forget. We were right there at that table, that wood table, and the donuts were there, and I was crying there on the donuts because everything I felt was going wrong. Nobody was coming in, because we was somewhat new, and you kept my motivation up. You kept making me look forward to the next day.
Yeah.
And I can't express how much you mean to not only MBR, but you mean to me and Cassie and my family. So I just wanted to say that I'm going to miss you, and you are going to change the world with your words, with your character, and with your knowledge with sports.
Yeah.
And when you look at this trophy, I don't want you to look at it while it's from MBR. What I want you to look at it as, you're a diamond in the rough. You've came a long way, and this trophy just resembles that you're on to bigger and better things. And just don't forget us. So with that being said, we're all gonna go cry now. And we're gonna go on a music break. We're gonna do 2 music breaks.
Thanks for all the love, MBR too. Appreciate you guys too.
Yes, we do love you, Caveman.
Shout out to the veterans.
And we're going to go on music break. And when we come back, we're going to be hitting the What the Segment. Caveman chose the What the Segment. What are we discussing? Give us a teaser.
AI cameras that are going to track people, track your speed somehow by calculating the time that it took you to reach a certain place.
From A to B.
It's going to track your time from getting to point A to point B. And it'll estimate a speed, and it'll send you a speeding ticket in the mail. But I got a vehicle. I'm going to show a video of a vehicle to everybody that is going to help stop speeding tickets.
Oh.
We got the Honda Beat, so we're going to check that out when we come back.
All right. Well, with that being said and done, ladies and gentlemen, powered by Work Simple, we are the Ace Train Show, showing veterans all the programs out there beyond the VA right here on station. As let our veterans' voices be heard, MBR back after this.
It's with
Freedom is dead. Freedom is dead. Freedom is dead. With me again. Inside your
Hey, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the H-Train Show, where our only mission is so programs out there beyond the VA. Choo!
Find us on the web at mbradio.com.
I was holding back the truth, didn't know how much it hurt. I thought Chimes was on my side, now the silence says it first. I was trying to be there, didn't see you pulling away. I was loving like I knew how, didn't know what not to say. I came back carrying the war, still learning how to stay. I didn't mean to cross the line, I didn't know where it was placed. It's too late to apologize, I see it in your eyes. I was trying to be a father, but I missed the signs. It's too late to apologize, I know now, I know why. I was holding on to love while you were learning how to hide. You weren't asking me to save you, just to know when to let go. I was chasing what we used to be, didn't see how much you'd grown. 20 years of broken timing, the letters never found their way. I came back still reaching for you, you were already okay. I was knocking on a door, you had to lock to feel safe. I never meant to scare you, I just didn't know my place. It's too late to apologize, I see it in your eyes. I was trying to be a grandpa, didn't know the lines. It's too late to apologize, I know now, I know why. I was calling it love while you were calling it goodbye. I didn't mean to stay too long, I didn't mean to disappear. I was loving from a distance, it never quite felt clear. It's too late to apologize, but not too late to mean it now. I'll step back if that's what love is, I'm learning how. It's too late to apologize, this truth won't change. I wasn't perfect, I wasn't right, but the love was real, just the timing changed.
I remember that first day, nerves in my chest. Didn't know if I'd found the place where our worlds would connect. You looked at me and smiled, said you're right where you belong. And when you hugged me tight, I knew I'd been home all along. It's a full circle moment, a memory that stays from the first tiny shoes to the new steps we've made. You're the daughter of my heart, and I'm grateful every day for that first hello that melted all my fears away. Now I see you standing tall with dreams in your eyes. From that little girl I held to the one who's reaching new skies. You've got your own little family and a journey of your own, and I'm just thankful to be here watching how you've grown. And time might have taken us on roads far apart, but love has a way of finding where to start. Now every step we share is a gift I can't hold, a bond that only deepens as these chapters unfold. It's a full circle moment, a memory that stays from the first tiny shoes to the new steps we've made. You're the daughter of my heart, and I'm grateful every day for that first hello that melted all my fears away.
I used to sleep with my boots by the door in case the call came through. I learned how to run toward fire for people I never knew. I didn't ask who deserved it, I didn't stop to choose. I just raised my hand, said send me, and did what soldiers do. Now I wake up to different battles, paperwork, bills, and pain. Doctors' rooms instead of foxholes, still here in the rain. They say thank you for your service, like that settles the debt. But somehow every month that passes, you take a little more yet. I kept my promise when it mattered, I wish you would too. Don't take from the wounded, we already paid our due. I left pieces of myself over there trying to come back to you. I didn't come home whole, but I came home true. So don't take from the wounded when we already bled for you. There's a man with his medals in a shoe.
You're stronger than you know and braver than you feel, one waddle at a time.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is May 1st, 2026, Red Friday on this beautiful day in May. It's nice here in Colorado, Amber. I don't know What's the weather like over there? Is it nice in Missouri?
It's 53, so it's not too bad, but it was raining all day yesterday. We've been under tornado watches and warnings.
Off my car this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
I have 2 words for you. De-ice or wind washer fluid. Well, that's actually like 3 words.
Yeah.
That. But anyways, yeah, that's what you need to do. Bless you. All right, so without further ado, everybody wants to see it. The What The segment.
Those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this? That's my credo. No regrets.
You have no regrets?
Dad?
No? Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner, Casey. If I were you, I wouldn't use protection.
You're now going to get a speeding ticket without ever being pulled over. Avis. No, I'm not talking about the car rental company. I am talking about the automated vehicle identification system. These are like those flock cameras you see at the traffic lights. Well, what they are now going to be doing is they're going to be issuing you speed tickets. Yes, even though you're at a stoplight, you're going to get a speeding ticket. Because what they're going to be doing is absolutely insane. It is now ran by an AI algorithm that says, well, if this car was at point A, and then at this time, and then at this time it was at point B, the only way it could have got there in this amount of time is if they were speeding. It will calculate exactly how fast you were going over the speed limit and issue you automatically a speeding ticket without you being able to even challenge it. That's the future of the United States now. Yeah, not too happy about that. But hey, information is power, so make sure you hit that follow button and share this with everybody you.
That's jacked up.
It is. It is. But, you know, the thing is that no matter what happens in life, whenever there's a positive, there's always going to be a negative. For example, every single time, every time I talk to my dad, I kind of piss in his Kellogg's Frosted Flakes in the mornings. But every time he gets like a percentage of VA or Social Security disability, every time he gets like a raise or whatever, he's all excited. And I'm like, yeah. That means that the cola goes up. That means the prices are going to go up. And he's like, oh, you're right. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you know, AI is new. And just because we use it doesn't mean that the government and all of them aren't going to use it. I mean, they just had a fight with the Pentagon because they were trying to close Claude down, or they were trying to keep Claude for them, which Claude is another form of ChatGPT.
Really?
There's so many ChatGPT companies out there right now. You know, you've got Claude, you've got what is that?
I was just
Gronk.
That's
Yeah.
the one that
on
uses.
on X,
Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini. I mean, it's crazy. But yeah, cause and effect.
And then you've got the
So
what's the positive?
if you're looking to avoid AI's giving you speeding tickets, you just need a slow car.
Speed run in a Honda Beat. Here we go. First gear. Come on, car. All the way to 9. Here we go.
Is that a Geo Metro?
Almost 60 kilometers per hour, which is 34. Let's go. Second gear. Let's get all the way to 9.
That
Little
is
Beach.
85.
You can do it, and
Not
maybe
bad.
explode. All right, here we go. Third gear.
Probably not even going to speed limit on this road.
80 kilometers per hour. 45. We're in third gear pinned. I believe you can do it, Pete. You can do it.
You can do it on and on.
Before
Let
the
us
red
get
light.
off.
Get to 50. Get to 50. Yes. Come on, come on. 51. The fastest I've ever gone is 52. 8,000 RPM. 51. Come on, 85. Yeah, 52. Come on, 53. Come on, 53. Before we all die. You can do it. Oh, 52 confirmed. Damn. All right.
I was going to say, I don't know.
That was exhilarating,
Life-threatening,
but life-changing.
Okay. Anyways.
52 miles an hour.
Nothing sounded like it was going to explode.
Right?
What kind of car was that?
You don't need a speeding ticket anymore. Just get one of those.
Yeah, that's going to drop
Bourbon
some
and
panties.
Ball. What's going on?
Talking about dropping panties, it's that time for the drop the mic.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to do what you all think I'm going to do, which is just flip out.
I'm out of here. Y'all take care. Let's go.
Gets a clean look from three, and OG Anunoby, what a start. He's 3 for 3.
Is an absolute critical element when they play the Knicks.
Anunoby tries again, puts it in. OG Anunoby. Karl Anthony Towns up top to Bridges. Bridges step back. Shot clock at 2. Towns back to Bridges. Just gets it up in time. Lays it up and in.
Continued to move and got a layup.
Blocked by Towns. Brunson comes the other way. Throws it ahead. Bridges one man to beat. Goes at Alexander Walker. Layup is good. And the Knicks have scored now 11 straight. Alexander Walker gets into the paint. Triple team. Anunoby the deflection. 4 turnovers already. Hart drives and Hart finishes. Kind of trying to draw a foul. Gay helps out. Shot clock already down to 4. Brunson on the drive. Scoop layup off the glass. It's good. Daniels chasing Brunson. Brunson splits inside. This time with a right hand. As he falls, flips it out. Anunoby drives. Running shot is up and banks it in. An improved bench has been a big part of the Knicks' success this year. Alley-oop Robinson, and he lays it up and in. He's averaging 9 rebounds a game, that's including the 20 points per game. McBride hits a 3. What a run for the Knicks. There are a lot of Knicks fans in attendance, and they're very excited as Anunoby once again. Anunoby gets it. Corner, Clarkson, 3-pointer. Robinson tips it in, but he comes up hobbling.
So that there was the first half of a 67-14 run.
That's crazy.
First half by the Knicks. At least the Nuggets didn't lose, but like that. The Hawks got eliminated in historic fashion.
On their own court, too.
Yeah, at
They
home.
lost by, what was the final? They lost by 51?
Yeah, 51 points.
Well, especially from the Super Bowl, they're good at choking. So I mean, that's Atlanta.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't it the Atlanta Braves that choked on how many World Series before they won one?
I have no idea.
They're red hot right now.
Well, but at one time they choked a lot. So watch, I'm going to get some hate mail from Georgia. I can just see that now. Hey,
The
talking.
Georgians aren't going to like that.
Hey, I want to do a huge shout out for one of my friends. She's in Arizona. Her name is Rita. I call her Russia Rita. She didn't like that, so we're going to call her Ruffles Rita. I made a duck out of her. But she has been a huge. Yeah, go ahead and laugh, Amber. You're next.
Oh, really?
But she's made a huge impact for NBR here lately. Her and my friend Jess, and of course, my wife Cass. She's probably listening, I'm sure. They made a huge impact. Different things for NBR. I just wanted to say thank you. Number one. Number two, Rita. She just closed on her house in Arizona.
Congratulations.
Just a lovely soul. When I was talking to her, she was talking about her husband was a former past Marine. He passed away, and she used the life insurance, and she's got this new home, and she's got this extra home too. And she was talking about, I don't know what I'm going to do with this extra home. And I told her, I'm like, well, I have a friend that's in Arizona. It's called Vet Ticks. And I'm sure that, we could probably, maybe even put a veteran up while they go to a game or something, or a homeless veteran. And, she kind of liked that idea. But for her to even think outside the box, to do that for another human without worrying about compensation or anything like that, that's a huge comedy. That doesn't happen these days. When you go out in society, you have more people worrying what they're going to get rather than what they can give. And it's just a good human. There are good humans out there. You just got to open your eyes and look. So congratulations to her on getting the townhome house. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing, but congratulations to her. Cause I told her, in today's society, in today's market, that is a huge accomplishment to have a house right now. It's huge, huge accomplishment. So with that being said, we are going to go from here to you guys. What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about the whole? I know we watched the Knicks, but going back to the Nuggets, do you guys think that we lost the series because we fired Michael Malone last year? Because it seems like to me, and this is somebody looking out, looking in, it seems to me that nothing good has came from firing head coaches with the Nuggets. You had George Karl. He did the same thing, and then we got Michael Malone. It's like whenever we have a successful team, they just like to blow it. The administration.
I wouldn't blame it fully on that.
Okay.
I got Edelman on my radar though, on my watch. Now.
I mean, it was his first year as a head coach, and the team did like we had 28 different starting lineups. Despite that, still won 54 games. I mean, I don't think he did a great job of making adjustments in this series, but when your top two players really don't play very good at all, and I mean, we never really got like any of our role guys to consistently play well either. Like Spencer Jones, he had a game in Game 5, but he wasn't very good overall in the series. Like Jokic, this is probably the worst playoff series I've ever seen from him. Jamal Murray just got bodied by Jaden McDaniels in this series. That can't all just be fixed by coaching. And I mean, I don't know. Maybe he struggled to properly motivate the team, but like these guys are supposed to be your rival. And I mean, they're talking and chirping to the media, and you show more fight in the final like 12 seconds of a game you're losing than most of the series. It
just seemed like everybody on the team, they were just upset with the wrong people.
Yeah.
We got everybody on the Nuggets kind of giving all the media all the attitude, and they didn't really have all that much on the court unless there was 12 seconds left in the game.
Well, let me ask you this before I read the top stories, before we go on our next break, before we bring our interviewer up. My question is, do you think maybe the Nuggets didn't try so hard because they didn't think that they would, even if they made it past this round, they didn't think that they would make it past the next round? Because wouldn't the next round be the Oklahoma Thunder?
No, the Spurs.
The Spurs?
Also an insanely tough series.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a professional athlete in the playoffs. I don't think you're going to give up because you're scared of the next team you're going to play and intentionally lose to another team. They just played badly. Also, our top two defenders didn't play at all in this series, and the rest of our team is below average to just horrible on defense. And they just got way too many easy buckets, just driving right to the hoop, and nobody really stopped them. That'll be the biggest thing. We need some paint and rim protection. I mean, that final game, they killed us in the paint too. So
just the fact that
can't really just point to one thing. It was it's a culmination of things that just did not work out.
Well, so before we go on our next break, which it'll be quick because our interviewer is already here, I'm going to read to you some of the leading stories that are hitting the top news today. The VA and veteran benefits update, always leading the story, why it matters. This is going to hit us. So the backlog update and the wait times for VA claims, it is improving, still slow, but it is improving. Any movements on the bill, like the Richard Starr Act, that still has not passed. And it's just my opinion. Hopefully, I'm wrong. That's just my opinion. We're sitting here trying to get this bill to pass. I don't see the government passing a bill when we're at war, because it kind of defeats the purpose. Why are you going to compensate why are you going to compensate veterans or military when you're ongoing a war? All the money that is coming in, that's going to the war. That's priority. We fully support the Richard Starr Act. We fully support that it needs to happen, but I'm just being realistic. I'm not being negative, Nick. I'm being positive, Pete here. I just don't think it. And hiring shortages, improvements inside the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. They've already said it right now that DOD, if you're in the military, if you go and start up right now, they've got huge bonuses. So just giving you a heads up, and they just increased DOD with a 7% increase for the upcoming year, which is pretty huge. Global tensions and military readiness. So that's that point. You guys kind of touched briefly on the sports. The only thing that we really didn't cover too much is that the National Football League off-season moves, the Colorado team Buzz Avalanche still in the fight for the cup.
Yeah, they're going to get that lick back for us on the state of Minnesota. They're playing the Wild in round 2. So
yeah, so
you know what? They beat us in the first round of the playoffs, but we still have 7 championships
That's right.
to our city. They have one. I think the Twins won one like back in ancient times.
But Avalanche is still in the fight, though, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm not wrong. Okay,
They swept the Kings. And
that's what I thought.
They had a few days off leading into the series. The Wild just clinched and advanced last night.
Yeah,
the night before.
No, that's what I thought. Okay, all right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go on a motivational moment, a simple, real quick commercial, and then when we come back, we're gonna be talking with Brian Sims. This is the first time that I've met him, so we're both gonna be learning. He's gonna tell us about Operation Rebirth. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H-Train Show here on the station that's letting our veterans' voices be heard, powered by Work Simple MVR.
You're stronger than you know and braver than you feel. One waddle at a time.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this. Storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he was in here and he walked away for a moment. Maybe he's like me. Maybe he hit the wrong trigger button. So we'll give him a second while we wait for him. Let's give some huge shout outs real quick. One to DV Radio. They synchronize and they let us utilize their system. They have a brand new phone app. So if you didn't already, go to the Apple Store, Android Store, pick up DV Radio. They have a great show every Saturday. Barracks Talk with Bo. Bo has been doing this since I've been doing it since 2015. So check them out. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this week's interview of the week.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Brian, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Good morning. How are you? Oh, what
Might be
happened?
frozen.
Did he freeze or are we having a sound problem?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you now, guys. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
there we go. Yeah, it must be our cricket internet. How are you, Brian? It's finally good to meet you, man.
Oh, streaming, right?
Yeah.
Technology.
Well, hey, I tell you what,
I'm doing pretty
I've been
good, guys. How y'all doing today?
I've been reading up on you, and tell us a little bit about yourself, especially since we have a little bit of an internet lag. So, I'm just gonna tell you a couple of questions. Give us an introduction of, a little bit about you, a little bit about your service, and why you do what you do, and tell us about Operation Rebirth. Well, send him a note. Maybe it would be better for him to call.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
looks like we lost
It's
him.
all right. No problem.
This dang dial-up internet.
Right. Right. Well, I'm sure he's on his way. Now, if you're watching us, Brian, we'll put the phone number on the banner. Go ahead and put that phone number up, Caveman, and then he can at least call since he's having some streaming internet issues. Not a problem. But I do know one thing that I can share while we wait until either he comes back or he does give us a call. Operation Rebirth, they have an address. We'll make sure to put that application, that website in the podcast. But what he does is he coordinates services around the area that veteran is in. Maybe that veteran needs financial support. Maybe that veteran needs electrical support, the house or trailer or roof or fencing, or maybe you just need to put like a ramp because if you've ever worked with the VA, the only problem with the VA is they're going to do it, but they're gonna do it when it's convenient for them, not when it's convenient for you. And that's one of the main reasons why we do this show, is so that veterans know all the resources and all the benefits that are out there, because unlike the military, in life, everything shouldn't be a secret. I hate gatekeepers. If you're a gatekeeper, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But there shouldn't be no excuse. If something's working for you, you should share the knowledge with somebody else. Because
I'm only laughing because people call me a gatekeeper with the documents, the FOIA documents, which I am not.
And that brings up a really good point, Amber. Before, while we wait for Brian to come up, you do a lot of stuff for MBR, and I don't think people really gather all the stuff that you do. This week, there was a huge donation made to MBR on End of the Weeds podcast on their behalf. And, Amber and them do a lot of stuff for MBR behind the scenes for people to get upset because, you made money or to get upset because you didn't you didn't provide the documents or the video like they wanted you to provide.
I didn't provide sexually explicit content in
Right.
public.
Right. Why they're giving you shit about that? I have no idea because
Because it was sent to me and they expect me to release everything that was sent to me, but it wasn't my fault. Greene County messed up. So yeah, it really sucks. But at the end of the day, I know what I did and I know what I didn't do. And so it really doesn't actually stress me out. It just makes me laugh sometimes when I hear stuff like that. So
now, once again, I'm going to let's put in the comments. Let's put in the phone number so that people know, especially Brian, so that he can give us a call through the number. Phone number, Brian, if you're seeing the 720-619-0627, make sure that you give us a call whenever you get a chance, whenever you get the chances up. I don't know if you can reach the calendar manager email, but you can send a follow-up email, Caveman, and give him the number so that we're doing that kind of like behind the scenes kind of thing. But while he's doing that, and while we wait for Brian, I'm just gonna try to talk him up, a little bit. There's not a lot of people these days that do things for veterans, and what he's doing is exceptional, especially. And I think I talked about this last week, but I received an award from Mission Flight from Oscar Mike Radio last week, and
he's back
yeah,
in the
there he's back. All right, let's try this again. Brian. If this doesn't work, well, we'll just have you call in, okay?
Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, we're gonna send you in the private chat. We're gonna send you the phone number.
I also emailed it to you as well.
Yeah, you just go ahead and you can keep your video on. You'll just mute that mic and then you'll just call us on the phone. That way, there's no lag in it. I mean, you'll look like a Chinese movie, but other than that, there's no lag in it.
Man,
who doesn't like Jackie Chan? Who doesn't like Jackie Chan?
That's not the kind of Chinese movie I'm talking about.
Some of his movies are.
Jackie Chan does not have any movies where the lips move.
I derailed us.
Yeah, a little bit.
Bruce Leroy.
I was talking about kung fu movies.
But
actually, I think the movies series Iron Skies is made by like a Chinese studio.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. No, you're not talking about Jack. It's not Jackie Chan. Who is that guy? Who I'm
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. That's it. Bruce Lee. Those movies are like, those are Chinese movies.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm going to get a warning or a violation on TikTok because I'm being racist or something, and I'm not trying to be racist. So, but while we wait for Brian to give us a call, Amber. Oh, there we go. We got
the bell.
Yeah.
Hello.
You're on the H Train Show, Military Broadcast Radio. Brian, is that you?
It is me.
Brian, awesome. Finally, Brian is back in the studio. Okay, so Brian, tell us a little bit about you. Okay, not like you like walks on the beach or anything like that, but tell us a little bit about your service. What makes you do what you do, and introduce us to Operation Rebirth.
Sure. Well, I do like long walks on the beach. I'm a 6th generation Floridian, so there's that. I'm kind of for the past year, I've basically splitting time between Colorado and Florida, where Project Rebirth is headquartered in basically Orlando, Florida. But I am an Army veteran. I was 11 Bravo, so bang, bang life, grunt life all day. I also worked in the intelligence complex as a contractor doing human and geospatial intelligence. And I also was a federal emergency manager for FEMA for quite a while, really from Hurricane Harvey in 2017 all the way through the pandemic. I was essentially continuously deployed in floods, fires, hurricanes, active shooter, mass casualty incidents. I specialize in incident and unified command, so working with multi-agency responses, very large complex operations, including like in active shooter and mass casualty incident scenarios. And yeah, I really enjoyed all that stuff. It all is really the same type of thing when it comes to, I think, like most veterans share, which is we are typically very good at thriving in chaos because we're really good at ordering chaos, right?
That's
so
true.
all of those professions, they lend to that, right? But what I was never really good at even as a person in long-term recovery, is doing it for a sustained amount of time, right? So in an acute scenario, you can send me out for, a 30, 60, 90-day deployment, and I can go high speed, big, like balls to the wall, and make some big, important things happen. But you start getting around like a 6-month mark, I'm already pushing it because of the output of energy. And a lot of that has to do with to execute at that level for a sustained amount of time, it's just unsustainable, right? You have to be concerned about your self-care. And although I have been a certified peer specialist in multiple states for well over a decade, I still will forget to do self-care, especially as National Director of Project Rebirth. About a year ago, I learned a pretty hard lesson and basically had to reset myself for self-care and find balance with that. Let me explain what it is that Project Rebirth is and does. You'll understand how that then relates back into that last statement. So Project Rebirth is the nation's first and only warrior recovery community organization. So again, we're headquartered in Orlando, Florida, but we have about 24 programs operating in these other types of nonprofits known as recovery community organizations across the U.S. It's across 8 different states right now. And what an RCO is essentially a grassroots nonprofit that is led by people with lived experience. And the people who are doing that job are certified peer specialists. So it is formal peer support. It is really what a certified peer specialist does is they're a case manager with lived experience, right? And the training to become a certified peer specialist involves teaching you how to leverage your story so you can build rapport quickly with the person who's across from you because you have been there and you've walked that pathway, and then helping them to determine what do they want their life to look like? What do the goals to break down achieving that look like? And then getting down to what are the steps to achieve those goals? And it is in a self-directed manner by the person that's across from you. It's not made by the peer specialist because the peer specialist is not a case manager. They are not a clinician, right? The other hallmark thing about what RCOs do is the funding that we get, the federal funding that we get comes from SAMHSA, which is part of Health and Human Services, so under Secretary Kennedy, and that allows us to provide services indefinitely. So you go to many organizations, civilian or veteran, right? And you basically got 90 days, maybe 6 months worth of some specific funding streams that they can utilize. And usually that is, well, you need to meet these certain standards. And if you don't meet these standards, we can't continue to even give you the funding within that time frame, right? So a lot of these organizations all tout things like being trauma-informed, or the new kitschy word is person-centered. That's not person-centered care. That's trying to take square pegs and put them in round holes. And what we do specifically and do better than any other organization out there is we look for the square pegs and the round pegs and the star-shaped pegs, and we build a hole around them. And they get to choose what that looks like. Whatever their pathway of recovery from substance misuse or or other co-occurring disorders, and most importantly, moral injury. We've been very deeply involved with moral injury research in Boston University for many years, and trying to collect that data and get a formal diagnosis, which I'd love to go into the differences between PTSD and moral injury and how they look so similar. But that is specifically what Project Rebirth does. We focus our services towards veterans and first responders, and then we train other organizations, especially community-based organizations that are primarily civilian-led, and teach them how to work with the veteran population. We provide technical assistance to those organizations when they're trying to help a veteran or their family member navigate VA systems of care. Y'all know how difficult and complex it gets. And what do you think a civilian thinks about that when they try and get input, right? I mean, it's difficult for us as it is, right? So we do a lot of very deep accredited training for organizations and practitioners that are trying to do that. And then most importantly, we do resource linkage, and we do not just send out phone numbers. We don't even post our resource list. Other organizations can go ahead and do that. I think that's a missing piece of what our veteran community has a problem with is we're all super resourceful, right? We know how to improvise, adapt, overcome. But the issue is that there are over 72,000 nonprofits that have veteran in their mission statement. This is according to the IRS as of last year. So if it's not a problem of resources, because there's 72,000 organizations, let alone all the others that still serve, and it's not a problem with us being able to Google stuff or chat GPT the answers or any of that, what's the problem? To me, the problem is that the soup has been watered down. The problem is that the organizations that are getting money or look really great on Instagram, these high visibility, low impact organizations, when someone is finally in pain and asks for help, because we embrace the suck and it takes a lot for us to be like, all right, I actually need this help now. Or maybe you got a battle buddy that grabs you by the neck and is like, you're getting help now, that type of thing. How do you get the person to those resources and do an actual warm handoff? And then most importantly, once you've handed that off, coordinating the care to ensure that any other organization that they're talking with is also talking to each other, because every veteran needs a team. But the problem is that this is overwhelming, right? If you're dealing with 3 or 4 organizations plus the VA, it's hard enough just to keep track of appointments, let alone ensure that everyone's on the same page, on that team that's trying to surround you and help you. So that is specifically what Project Rebirth does, that no other veteran organization in the U.S. does, because it's a very big lift. So that's why we just concentrate on doing that lane plus housing. That's the other thing that we do. But we also do a lot of advocacy and up on different hills in DC and all that stuff all the time, working to advance various legislation, stuff like that. But that's what we've been doing for a number of years now, and I love it to death, but it will drain you if you don't take care of yourself. And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, especially being there in Florida with all of the veterans. I mean, it's a huge pool. I lived in Florida in the Tampa area and in the Orlando area. And thankfully, they created that new hospital there in Orlando, because that was really hard to navigate, just the healthcare system in Orlando, period. But can you tell us about the moral injury a little bit? Tell us what that is.
Sure. So no one really has an agreed upon definition of moral injury. It changes depending upon the organization or maybe the practitioner, like some of the PhD researchers and such. Generally, what it's about is that it is a violation of your internal moral code and compass, and that could be perpetrated against you, or you could have done it yourself, right? Okay. So, and one of the examples I like to use a lot, especially when I'm talking with other veterans, is I like to paint a picture of a scenario. So the scenario would be something like you got sent up to a mountaintop to do Overwatch on a village because you knew some high-value target was, operating out of that village. And so you're there for, 48, 72. And what are you doing when you're up there watching this village? You're seeing the civilians, right? The non-combatants do what they do. You watch mothers nurse their babies and fire up the non, and you watch kids kick around the soccer ball, right? and the men are working on their cars or their scooters and all that type of stuff. They're just living their lives like normal people, but there's that HVT that utilizes and embeds in that village, and that's why you're there. And so, you put eyes on that target, the HVT rolls in and call it up to command, and you're maybe it's your CO that's on ground with you. He's talking to upper level command, and they say, all right, well, we're not going to worry about like QRF or grabbing. We're just going to drop, like a Hellfire on them. And you're like, negative. Like, we're here. We've got the elements. We can go snatch this guy. Not a problem, right? Because you know what the collateral damage is most likely going to look like. And you get stood down, and you have to sit there and watch that missile hit, as well as report back what that damage looks like. Maybe even go and do validate or proof of life, right? And getting all the way down in that thing. And so knowing that you could have done something that would not have resulted in that, right? That internal violation of your codes, which you had no choice in it, right? We got to follow orders, right? That can result in a moral injury. Another way to express how I think this is a term we came up with, is collective moral injury, of which there's collective trauma. So for instance, you think about like when a hurricane hits, right? That's collective trauma on a community, right? And which, by the way, I've watched how collectively we heal from that too, right? Because the community helps heal that. So collective moral injury would be, for instance, like the Afghanistan withdrawal, where we were all sitting there like, what was the point of this? Especially those of us that went to Afghanistan, right? But really all of us. And then the country, and then all the other countries that stood alongside us, and the interpreters that lived it, right? Those moral injuries of why did I do any of that, right? That's not trauma. It's different, but it's very similar when it comes to the symptoms. And this is where the key thing to understand that this is, in my opinion, on, let's call it the clinical side of the house, like the actual mental health side of the veteran community. This has been the biggest problem that we've been facing, most especially through the global war on terror. The reason being is that the symptoms are nearly identical. Moral injury presents the same way that you would die. Like if you were just a clinician at the VA, you would meet if you had moral injury, especially complex or compound moral injury, your symptoms would look exactly like PTSD, right? Because they're just using the DSM to look at that and create the diagnosis, right? Not that there's not trauma involved there too. Let me be clear about that. In fact, often the trauma and moral injury are co-occurring, right? But here's the problem with the difference between treating moral injury and treating PTSD or trauma in general. So our go-to modalities, of which there's a bunch, are generally known as exposure therapies, right? So this is including anything like an EMDR or an accelerated resolution therapy, cognitive processing therapy, even journaling and such. Now, the problem with that when you're trying to treat a moral injury is when you re-expose someone to the moral injury, it actually it exacerbates the moral injury. Yeah. Now, it works great on the trauma side, but it does not work well on the moral injury side. Because the truth is that even though it's an internal injury, you can even call it, if you wanted to, a soul injury. There are a lot of people that call it that. But it was inflicted by and within community, and it needs to be healed within community. Okay. Versus trauma, which is you could have 5 people in the same firefight see the exact same thing, and only one of them has any issue traumatically with what happened, right? That's a very internal process, because what it is a misprocessing of a traumatic event, right? Of an extreme event. Mm-hmm. So we've thrown tens of billions, maybe even over $100 billion at suicide prevention, all these trauma therapies. That's, just within the VA, let alone all the other organizations, right? So if we've done all of this and spent all this money, we've got all these amazing modalities, why do we not see the needle move, most especially when it comes to suicidality? Let alone the fact that veterans since 2010 have been twice as likely to die of an overdose than the general U.S. population. Then you've got domestic violence, and all the other things that come along with it, the things that we suffer from at a very high rate in our community. So if we've got all this money, again, it's just like the resources thing, right? Like if we're throwing all this money and these amazing practitioners, huge experts at it, what's the problem? Why are people not healing? And I think that the reason why is obviously there's a gap. And the gap is like that is plugged if you plug in moral injury, and then we start trying to create modalities or retreats that are specific to that, right? Those types of programs and modalities for moral injury, so that people who have gone through those programs, which, let me be very clear, I've been to 10 different VA treatment programs in 4 different states in this country. So I've run the gamut of it. And I'm a practitioner myself, so I've been on both sides of the desk. So what I recognized was I processed my trauma. It's not that it's gone. It's not that I don't some days have some reactivations around it, right? And in certain scenarios, but it doesn't impact my daily life. What I found is that the moral injury is what was creating my ruminating thoughts and, the automatic negative thoughts that were happening, like, oh, you're a piece of crap and you should have done this. All this guilt and shame that are the hallmark portions of moral injury that are not hallmark portions of the trauma itself, right? I needed to process that. And again, I needed to do it within community. So one of the ways that I did that was through psychedelic assisted therapy in a cohort style format with veterans and first responders out in Colorado, which is how I got brought to Colorado to help build the first clinical psychedelic treatment center for veterans and first responders.
Really?
We are
Yes, I'm waiting for Brian to get here so that I can meet him and we can work together with that. We've been trying to connect. He's been a little busy.
Yeah, but I mean the retreat has been running for well over a year. I think we've had a couple hundred, mainly veterans, first responders, and intelligence community professionals. That retreat was founded and primarily led by Dr. Lance Cutsworth, he was an 18 Charlie with 7th Group for a few years. Then he did Green to Gold. So he got out as an officer. He was a captain at 82nd Airborne. He is one of my best friends in the world. He's such an amazing person. And again, when I kind of like went down and was burned out, he was like, I've got your back, right? Like, because there are plenty of people in this community that we all like to say, like, yeah, we'll help you and this and that. He showed up, right?
Yeah.
Having like a really close inner circle of those types of people. Lance is one of those types of people. And the staff at the retreat, like, we're all trained and licensed. And we have, for instance, Dr. Brian O'Leary, who is the recently retired command psychologist of USASOC. So he was in charge of all the special operations branches within or units, including special mission units. So he kind of does our strategy, and he also kind of leads the clinicians, as well as Dr. Tabitha Dolan, who's one of maybe 3 or 4 female operational psychologists ever attached to or embedded in a special forces unit. So we have clinicians, plus we have guides who are also trained, certified, licensed, so on and so forth. It kind of runs a gamut. There's a spectrum of it, but are able to help facilitate that experience in our cohorts, which, by the way, there is another cohort coming up this month, since now it's May 1st. I think it's in 2 weeks. I can get you guys information on that.
Okay.
But you should definitely have Dr. Lance come on. He's down in Buffalo Creek.
Oh, okay.
He's just down the road.
All right, now, before we go to the last question, our bread and butter question that I have for you is very in short terms. I find that veterans aren't lazy. I find that veterans have a hard time navigating the process. Now, me and you have been working behind the scenes on something, and I know, but I kind of want to explain to veterans that, we're going to link the website to this podcast. And how you explained it to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, before we go into the last question. But the navigation is you go to this website and you say that, hey, I'm looking for help, and you fill out all the information. And then once you fill out all the information, it's going to send those little tickets or whatever to all those areas that support you and your efforts in the area of that veteran. And you guys work out and coordinate and get help that wise. Am I right or am I wrong? And if I'm wrong, please kind of explain the navigation a little bit easier if I screwed it up.
No, absolutely. So it is the opposite of that.
Okay.
So we have multiple ways to get in contact with us. Sure, there's a form on our website. You have phone numbers listed. We have email addresses listed. You know, we're on Facebook and Instagram. Like we're receiving like requests for assistance all the time through all those different mediums. And we do it that way because some people prefer to stay on one platform or communicate in one way or another. But the point being is there are a lot of like organizations or even services that would do that, where you put in a request, right? Like, hey, I need emergency financial aid. We'll use that one. That's a common one. And it goes out to a bunch of different organizations. Well, guess what happens when that happens? You have a bunch of organizations calling you and you're overwhelmed, right? Have you ever been in one of the Facebook veteran groups and someone's like, hey, I need a recommendation. And like 5 minutes later, there's 40 recommendations. That's doing nothing for them.
Right. Or you go to internet site that says Black Book and you put in your information for an insurance quote, and you've got 30 different companies reaching out that are just reaching
emails and phone calls and texts and all that. It's like you need a battle buddy.
Right.
That's what a veteran needs.
And it turns into
a battle
spam.
buddy that has experience, that has walked this pathway, that understands not just the resources, because again, together being resourceful is more important than resources, right? We are so stuck on having a resource. That's not the thing that gets the job done. The thing that gets the job done is being resourceful, right? Having the mindset to be able to figure out how do we find the thing, and then how do we accomplish that thing? Well, if you're in crisis, how are you expected to be able to discern what that is, right? You're literally asking for help for that thing, right? So the point is that we try to get back with people within 12 hours, right? Now, depending upon the way that the request looks, we may immediately assign someone, and we're making a phone call very, very quickly. The truth is, if I had to average it out, we're talking to people typically within 2 hours of them reaching out, just depending upon how the case load looks that day through the organization. But again, having person-centered care, which means I need to understand not just what it is you need, but why do you need it? Because there's going to be things behind that maybe need to be addressed that don't feel like it's as acute of an issue that you're facing right now, right? Like, it's all good to, like for instance, if you break a bone, right? Like, you don't just tape it up, right? Like, you need to reset the bone, put a cast on it, so on and so forth, and then ask, so how did you break this bone? Are you jumping out of trees because you got a little issue with impulse control and you're still thrill seeking? Maybe we should be addressing that than just putting a cast on it and saying, best of luck to you. Oh, by the way, here's some opiates, or you've got a substance use history, so I can't even give you pain management, so figure it out like this. Each one of those is a very specific thing that person needs to be supported in, not just prior, but most importantly, like over time, right? And that's the thing that we do, that we are only doing it because no one else seems to do that, right? Like, I got asked to make the organization and I said, no, I don't want to do it. Like, I was coming out of the pandemic. They had asked to make this program, which eventually turned into Project Rebirth, a nonprofit. But my answer was no. I'm not interested in that. I'm just going to go home and relax, and that'll be that. But I had a lot of friends, including, so I used to be a regional director for Team Rubicon for many years. So the entire region 4, Southeast United States. So it's like 30,000 volunteers I was in charge of. And so I have built a lot of good veteran network, right? And so I went to them and said, should I really do this? Like, was I kind of a hole for saying no to them? And they were like, yeah, you were. You should go say yes and go help them. So I did. And then it turned into this. And it was, again, I didn't want to turn it into its own individual nonprofit. We had a board of advisors. Like, I'm a smart dude, but what makes me smart is that I know I need other smart people around me and ask their opinions, right? So I asked them all their opinions. What should we do? And they said, form your own nonprofit. We should make our own nonprofit. Let's bring it out from underneath this, and let's go do this thing at the highest level that we can. So we do that. We have housing that's available in the state of Florida. We're expanding into recovery housing, specifically on the substance use side. And we have a lot of different initiatives, but again, our concentration is always to people in crisis. And when veterans or first responders are in crisis, again, the thing to understand is that we are built to embrace a suck. Our pain threshold is much higher than most civilians. So when a veteran asks for help, they need help now. Not 15 minutes. You may have gotten over the acute level of pain and be like, it wasn't that bad. Doesn't mean the problem was solved, but you get over it quicker because you compartmentalize and you move on, because that's what we were trained to do.
Adapt and overcome.
Leave service and we do that more. Exactly. But adaption has to be with improvisation and overcoming. If all you're doing is adapting all the time, that is a trauma response. And you're stuck inside the sympathetic nervous response. So your default mode is react. And when you're reacting all the time, you don't get the chance to take a breath and respond. And that's one of the things that we do when we're building recovery action plans with veterans or their loved ones, right? Is how do we create that life where you can actually take a breath and pause? And instead of constantly reacting, appropriately respond to the given situation. But it takes a lot of things that have to happen first to de-escalate yourself, but not de-escalate yourself in the moment, de-escalate yourself over time. Consistency. It doesn't mean you're not gonna become Buddha, right? Like I did a bunch of psychedelics. I'm not Buddha. What it did though is on a scale of -10 to 10, right? Is that I don't oscillate so extremely, right? I would say I oscillate in a -4 to 4, as opposed to being at 7s or 8s on either side of the spectrum. And that to me is one of the best things that I got over my recovery journey, essentially supported by psychedelics, as well as some amazing veterans and first responder brothers and sisters in arms that provide me the opportunities and the mirror on myself and having honest conversations with me about what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or how I am responding or reacting. That has allowed me to push this organization where it is, where it's gone to, and hopefully further, so we can continue to help save lives.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And Brian, I'm so glad that you could come on the show. Before I let you go, because we are running out of time, we're getting ready to come up onto the last question. But before the last question, I want to remind everybody that today's show is powered by WorkSimple. WorkSimple is more than just office space. It's a growing network of flexible workspaces built for entrepreneurs. Yeah, I still can't pronounce it. Small business and organizations like Military Broadcast Radio. What makes WorkSimple different is their focus on the community. They take underutilized buildings and turn them into thriving business environments where people can connect, collaborate, and grow. For us here at MBR, WorkSimple has gave us more than a place to broadcast. They gave us a home to continue our mission of giving veterans a voice. If you're looking for a professional space without the long-term headaches, contracts, and deposits, check out WorkSimple and see how they're changing the way people work. And it is that time, everybody. It is your time to shine.
Today's Time to Shine is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, veterans, and first responders. Runs on Dunkin'.
Just so you know, Brian, I am a part of a boys band on the weekend, and we kept getting hit with copyright things, so I created a song just for the time to shine. And this moment is for you to express maybe I didn't ask you for the right question or set you up for that right answer, and there's still something on your chest that you want to get off of your chest. This is the next 2 minutes is your 2 minute platform to talk or say anything that you would like to say that you didn't get a chance. And I want to do a quick shout out to our TikTok listeners who've been throwing gifts all day. Chelsea, David Hunt, and yep, exactly. And Rita, we want to say thank you for tuning, listening in, because we're at about 50,000 beats on TikTok. So Brian, this is your moment. This is your time to shine. Tell us whatever you would like to.
Sure. I think I'd like to use this time to express gratitude to people. I'll plug their organizations as well because, again, they helped me. Ron Millward from Balanced Veterans Network, one of our big partners. My sister, Leah Stiles, retired senior chief, who is the CEO of Seaways, which is the only military-focused eating disorder recovery program in the country. Dr. Dolan, Dr. O'Leary, of course, Lance, Zaya, Katie, Zena, all my friends at Monsana, Gabe, Higher Vets. I want to talk about that. HIGHER, Higher Vets, which works with veterans who are trying to get into the aviation industry, whether it's pilots or maintainers and mechanics and stuff. So Chuck Stroman over there. And who else do I think? Scott Strusler, amazing veteran who was part of the first Ibogaine study with Stanford. So a lot of that executive order you guys saw Trump sign is built off of the cohort that he was a part of. SOC F, the entire USASOC community, all my friends here in Orlando, and most importantly, my new awesome partner, Tina Kendrick, who opened the Steady Ground Project so that we would have the funding to be able to get the houses, to get veterans placed quickly and receive the services they need in a coordinated fashion from Project Rebirth. Without her, and she's a Marine veteran herself and also a nurse, and if it wasn't for her love and compassion, I don't know where I would be or where Project Rebirth would be right now in trying to move things forward. So much gratitude to them, my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, everyone, for supporting me along a very rough road, because the recovery journey is not linear. It is a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of backtracking sometimes and standing in a circle and just spinning around looking for something to hold on to. If you feel like that today, know that there are organizations and individuals you can reach out to so that you don't keep spinning out. You are wanted, you are needed, and you can recover. I recovered. If someone like me, who tried to kill himself in 2015 and survived, lived on the streets homeless, was committed to many VA institutions a bunch of times, I'm like, if I can go from complete homelessness on the street, eating garbage out of garbage cans, pushing everyone out of my life, and I can do what I'm doing now, I promise you that you can too, and we can help you get there.
Awesome.
Brian, thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Next we gotta get you on Trace Around show, and me and you we'll talk more. We will collaborate more, and just thank you for your service and thank you for what you're doing for my veterans.
Well, thank you for your support and thank you for giving me the chance to come on and chat with you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
Awesome,
Thanks,
Brian.
Brian.
Thank you. All right, it's that time. Cue the music. It is. We're gonna get ready to go to the tribute to the troops. But before we do that, while the music is cued, we want to remind everybody that here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're here to give every veteran that voice, that every opportunity.
Yep.
And again, because of Work Simple, They have really powered. They have really mentored us, and good things are more to come. So with that being said, we're going to go on the tribute to the troops, and when we come back from tribute to the troops, we will fall in line into the final thoughts. So think about what you guys learned today, Caveman and HG, and until then, you're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H Train Show right here on MBR.
Detail attention.
First call. The service member's name is called out loud in the context of a unit. This is meant to ensure all are present and accounted for. Second call. The name is called out again, louder, to confirm that the service member is indeed absent. Third call. The name is called out for a final time, followed by a statement indicating that the service member is not present and accounted for, signifying their death. The final roll call serves as a symbolic gesture to respect and remember their service.
Sir, I'm not telling the story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell the American people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to MBR today as we pay tribute to Staff Sergeant Jonathan Michael Short, age 34 of Owing Mills, Maryland. Jonathan was born on February 16, 1991 to Larry and Loretta Short. Jonathan began his military career with the 200th Military Police as a military police with the Maryland Army National Guard. His most recent assignment was as an instructor with the 70th Regional Training Institute at Aberdeen Proving Ground in Edgewood, Maryland, training the next generation of soldiers. He served domestically for the state of Maryland in COVID-19 response operations, supported civil disturbance operations for the 59th presidential inauguration, and deployed to Afghanistan during Operation Enduring Freedom. Through his 16-year career, Jonathan was known for his tenacity, skill, and dedication to serving his country. Outside his professional commitments, Jonathan was a man of varied interests, whether he was drawing, painting, tinkering, and building, or putting his green thumb to use in his garden. Jonathan's hands were never idle. He took pride in his work, and his distinctive quirkiness complemented his passion. Jonathan's greatest joy came from his family. As a devoted father, his love for his children was profound and unwavering. Jonathan passed away on February 9, 2026, just shy of his 35th birthday. Jonathan was the kind of soldier you could count on to be there when it mattered, said First Sergeant Adam Glasgow, First Sergeant of the 200th Military Police Company. He cared deeply about the unit and the people in it. He took pride in wearing the uniform and in standing beside his fellow soldiers. His presence in the formation will be missed, and we are keeping his family and loved ones in our thoughts during this difficult time. Jonathan's awards and decorations include Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Second Award, NATO Medal, Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal with Campaign Star, Armed Forces Service Medal. He is survived by his father, Larry Short, and his stepmother, Carol, his partner, Hallie Winters, his daughters, Aria and Gita, and son, Liam, siblings, Amy, Megan, Rebecca, and Jacob, as well as extended friends and family, and his brothers and sisters in arms. We here at MBR would like to thank you, Staff Sergeant Jonathan Michael Short, for your service and dedication to our country. You leave a legacy of love and courage, and our prayers are with your family, friends, and those who served alongside you. You are truly missed.
channel. Pinch it. Ready.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. 'Cause Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, hear the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, he'll pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
Even ducks know the calmest waters come after the storm.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Five, four, three, two, one. We have ignition. Strap in.
It's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. What we learned today. Are you not entertained?
At Project ML, gratitude. Our mission is simple, to give motorcycles to veterans who need the kind of peace and freedom that only a ride can give.
All right, so everybody, we are back. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H Train Show with my co-hosts Amber and HG. Behind the glass, his last show, Caveman. We were at the last 2 minutes. Keep in mind that ML Gratitude, you yourself can nominate not only yourself, but you can nominate a veteran to receive a free motorcycle. So make sure you go to that website and connect. With that being said, we're at that time. What did you learn today, Caveman?
I learned it does help to have a community. Can't do everything alone. Brian's got a big operation going over there. Seems like a lot of hands are helping him out. It's not just him doing it all alone. So good to have some people that you trust around.
Right.
Just it does help get things done.
That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, just like a kid, it doesn't take one person. It takes a village to raise a child. So I think sometimes we forget that. So I learned that you can be on top of the world one day and then feel like you're rebuilding the next day, and you just got to keep on driving. You can't let that get to you. And Brian kind of reiterated that today, you know, because
it's like Nissan.
Yeah,
they got the Nissan family, and they'll make like the Sentra, and then they got the station wagon one, like 2-door one. You gotta have a family. Gotta have the tree. You gotta have a trio,
right? HG, what did you learn?
I learned what a moral injury is and what that and how that's a part of the trauma that people have to deal with, and how you kind of go about treating that. So that was informative. I'd never heard that before.
Awesome. And last but not least, our eye candy for the hour. Amber, what did you learn?
I learned that moral injury is something that we need to really think about. That was something that I had never really heard anybody talk about, but when you really think about everything that we've all gone through, it usually is the moral dilemmas and the moral decisions that we make that have us feeling really good about ourselves or really bad about ourselves. And sometimes we don't remember that can be an issue as well. Just like any traumatic event we've had or gone through, a moral injury is just as destructive. And that is something that I never really thought about before. And the fact that we need community and we need our battle buddies. And it's been a really long time since I've had a battle buddy. But, my husband was in the Army with me, so he kind of acts as that. But then Alora and 1980 Millennial kind of act as my battle buddies now. You know, they've never experienced the military, but that kind of is what they are for me. So I'm just thankful for the people that I have around me in my community.
Well, I better be your battle buddy too, Amber.
Yes. But
well, with that being said, we're going to cue the music and we're going to remind everybody safety briefing. You know, don't beat your children. Don't beat your wife. Don't drink and drive. And if you're planning on having a Saturday night special this weekend, make sure you wrap it. Come and see us next Friday.
That is a good idea.
Next Friday, and I forget who we have on next Friday. Let me look real quick. HG, gosh, I should have. Next Friday, we have a brand new viral song by Will Theory, Burn My Flag. We're going to be having him on and talking to him about what inspired him to do that song. So everybody here at MBR Ed Train Show, have a fabulous weekend. And remember, We are all here for you. We're not here for us. And they all said, giving our veterans a voice. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching and listening to Military Broadcast Radio on Roku TV. If you missed today's episode, the podcast will be available on
and all major platforms shortly after we go off the air. We're here for you, not for us, giving veterans a voice. This is Military Broadcast Radio.